Oh, darling, you look beautiful. Anna, come on. We're going to be late.
Oh, I know. Just give me a few more seconds.
Do you want to drive this time, darling?
In these heels? Are you kidding?
Dead. Well, I'm impressed. Yeah, spineless, rugged, and it breaks down in less than an hour. By the time they find her, it'll look like a heart attack. So what was that stuff anyway? Oh, spider venom.
That's 3 bad nights in a row. Thought I had the guilt beaten out long ago. Outside of chemicals, there's only one cure I know for bad dreams and broken sleep. Luckily, I keep it close at hand. Rock climbing. It beats scaling tall buildings and stealing state secrets for a living, and being retired means I get to do it whenever the hell I want. Not the only one with troubles today, huh?
Say, you know anything about engines?
Live out here and you have to. Let me take a look. Something changes in his face. And I know I'm in trouble. He's young. Younger than me anyway. Gah! And he's fast. And he has a knife he knows how to use. But like most men, in the end, he underestimates me. Who sent you? Unless I get you to a hospital, you're going to bleed to death out here. Now, who sent you? Suit yourself. Sun's on the rise. I can wait. But so, it seems, can he. We wait and wait. He doesn't say a damn word. I think I'm going to be late. Listen, has anybody up at the club been asking about me?
I don't think... Hey, wait a minute, yeah. Yesterday, big blonde guy. Journalist said he was doing a feature on local climbers. Did he find you yet?
Yeah, I think he did. There are friends. Real friends. Mike and the rest would do anything for me. But right now, there's nothing they can do except stay out of the way, so I don't have to worry about them getting hurt. Some other friends I have aren't what you'd call reliable, or even likable, really. But sometimes they can be useful. And sometimes they owe you.
Extra secure inquiry services.
Hey Phil, you're answering your own phone? What happened to the latest blonde? Silicone leak?
Very freaking funny. What do you want, Nat?
How about the drink?
The last time I had a drink, I spent the next month picking chicken shrapnel out of my ass. I'm not coming to Dead Lizardville, Arizona for a repeat performance.
I'm not in Arizona, Phil.
I suppose you've seen this.
Homicide on Arizona highway earlier today. The body's been savagely mutilated. The police believe.
You told me your people were reliable.
They are. This one will not have talked.
Of course he hasn't talked. He was dead when they found him. That's hardly an achievement to be proud of.
I meant he will not have talked to her, for which you should be very grateful. We would not have wanted her to know how to find you.
Please, not another horror story of the Dread Black Widow. Look, you Russians just don't have the scare value anymore, right? I'm calling it north.
I would not advise involving your countrymen. North are
on the home ground, which gives them a major advantage over your superannuated KGB clowns.
Earlier today, the body's been savagely mutilated. What police believe.
Mutilated?
He had a knife, Phil. I used it on him. Got a problem with that?
You know, Nat, the last time you dropped in on me,
It was because you needed my help, which I gave. Now, you feel like returning your favor? Or are you going to do the Phil thing and let me down?
Okay. What do you got? Jeez, did you have to take his finger?
The ring wouldn't come off. Plus, I figure maybe his prints are on file somewhere, right?
Yeah, maybe. Don't count on it, though. If this guy was a spook, whoever he was working for will have made sure there are no records. You got some heavy gambling debts you're not telling me about, Nat? 'Cause if not, there's only one explanation for that I can see. This is your past coming to call. I can get some friends to look at all this stuff for us on Monday, but right now, there's something I want you to look at. 36-year-old women's rights activist Stacy Matheson shot dead this afternoon outside the Norton Family Planning Clinic.
So? Kind of standard for a shooting, isn't it?
Yeah, except Stacy Matheson's real name was Stefania Melnikova. Until she retired about 10 years ago, she was a KGB deep cover operative. Sound familiar?
No, but it might once we get there.
We?
Don't sulk, Phil. It ruins that slightly seedy cool you have.
I'm not sulking. I just don't see why I have to come with you, and why we have to go in my car.
Yeah, well, I guess that's why you were always back room at Shield Ops, and I was always deployed. We have to go in your car, because by now they'll be looking for mine. And we have to go together because the funeral is only 3 days away. We'll need to drive around the clock to make it. And I can't do that alone.
You know, Nat, that sounded for a moment like an admission of need. Anyway, you could have flown random flights elsewhere to break up the trail before heading to Birmingham.
Yes, textbook stuff. Which is exactly what they'll be looking for. They'll have every flight database in North America wired for trace. Trust me, Phil, on the road is best. Out here, we can lose ourselves for a while. If you want to succeed in life, you've got two choices. Pole dancer, or hard-faced harridan. You have to be twice as tough and twice as smart. Anything less, and they'll rip her to shreds.
That you, Nat? Twice as tough and twice as smart?
Let's hope so.
Hey, sugar. You looking for a ride?
Coffee?
I'll get it to go. You fill up.
Hey, we're not stopping for that snake farm?
Very funny. Check the oil, will you? This heap of yours was overheating back there for a while.
Yeah, well, maybe because this heap doesn't usually run 12 hours non-stop cross-country. She's getting too old to treat that rough. And she's not the only one.
Sugar, where you going? You ain't paid for your ride yet.
I don't want to ride anymore.
Well, maybe you don't, Sally, but you just rode 200 miles with me and Jay. I figured the least you can do is show us some appreciation. Am I right or am I right?
You're not going to do anything.
Are you kidding? You want to be all over the morning news? This is hardly the time for playing superhero.
So you're just going to watch?
I've watched worse. I was seconded to CIA covert ops in Guatemala for 5 years. And Nick Fury had me working with the freaking warlords. This little tragedy I can live with.
Yeah, well, I can't.
Natasha.
That's enough. Let her go.
This ain't your business, sugar. So back off.
Promise you this. You don't let her go right now. Neither of you will ever walk again.
I told you to...
Great. Just what we need. Want to go in and get autographs?
You okay?
I think so. My side hurts. That one, he punched me in the ribs a few miles back. When I wouldn't.
I can't believe you.
Phil, get the car now.
Could you please not do that sort of thing anymore?
What sort of thing?
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, that. But I thought you'd watched far worse in Guatemala and Afghanistan back in the day.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I want to have to watch you.
You seemed quite happy to watch what was about to happen to that girl.
Nat, you and I both know that what happens in the field is different.
And how's that?
The difference, Nat, is that now I am an accessory to murder and assault. The difference is that there'll be cops scouring the state for my car, which right now I can't afford to replace. The difference is...
They'll never find it, Phil.
Yeah? And that girl, Little Miss Hitcher, how long before she gets bored with sitting in the safe house alone and hits the local bars with tales of her flame-haired avenging angel? The kid hitches across state with nothing but clothes on her back and a sweet little smile. If she's gonna be stupid enough to get into a truck with two strange men...
Maybe she should have stayed with her overly friendly stepfather,
Oh, come on. That could be a complete crock and you know it.
What happened to you, Phil? I mean, you were always sleazy. That was part of your charm. But you used to care about the basics. What did Fury do to you?
Before or after he fired me.
Drinking on the job, disobeying orders. Can you blame him?
I blame everything. That's the loser's prerogative. And until I know what orders I disobeyed, I suggest you keep your moral judgments to yourself.
Fine, you can do the same for me. I'll cripple who I like.
Look, I'm not nearly drunk enough to tell you what Fury's orders were. Let's stick to the subject. What about the girl?
Okay, the girl. After Alabama, we'll go pick her up and I'll think of something, okay?
Yeah, right.
Listen, when you operate in the field, this is how it works, Phil. Sometimes you have to improvise.
Great. I'm really looking forward to Alabama.
No other tire tracks, she walked out. At least to the road back there.
Yeah, and probably to another waiting vehicle. I don't think she'd maroon herself out here alone and without transportation. Do you?
Hard to say. Val says she has desert survival training. In fact, they say with this one, there's no way to predict anything she'll do.
Okay, go ahead and open it.
Like I said, Max, there's no way to predict.
Yeah, well, one thing I will predict for you, Kestrel. Sure as apples rot, the widow is headed for a hole in the ground.
But unto all of us comes this day, has taken our sister Stacy unto his care.
Hey, Nat, spot the guy who came to the wrong funeral.
When this breaks up, you follow him. Take the rental car. I'll see you back at the hotel. Excuse me?
Oh, are you from...
Nadine Roman. I knew Stacy from her Slavonic Studies class.
Oh, yes. Actually, I don't remember her telling me about that, but... We were, just good friends. Nothing more than that. Are you coming back for the...
I was, but my ride just left.
Because I could, give you a lift if...
That's very kind.
Brad Schofield.
Nadine.
Nadine, right. That's a lovely name.
After that, it was pretty easy. And, you want to hear a big secret? It seems our Stacy was nearly 3 months pregnant when she got shot. Ironic, huh? If the pro-lifers got her, I mean.
And if it was someone else?
Then just unlucky. I got her address from this guy Brad. We should go out there tonight and take a look.
Sure. If you and young Brad don't have other plans.
Haha. So, tell me about our soldier boy.
What? I wasn't... hell. Yeah, alright, I was. Sorry. Look, this guy had a couple of pals in a jeep back at the gate. There's a military base out on the west side of town. In Kerchi. That's where they went. I got photos. Scanned them into the laptop and ran them by a friend in Washington. This is what I got back.
And that's Insert's insignia, isn't it?
Yep. Sergeant Will Forrester. Seconded to Insert Corps from regular forces 2 years ago. Still with him as far as I can work out.
Insert. Insurgency extraction, reconnaissance, enter.
Termination, yeah. Makes you wonder, right? About who put the bullet in Stacy?
Is Inakochi an insert facility?
Not as far as I'm aware, but those guys are ghosts, so who knows?
Well, he seemed pretty upset at the funeral.
So he's the sensitive type. Weeps every time he has to kill some ex-Soviet spy. Maybe it's not a good idea for you to stick around.
Or maybe some pro-life nut got her after all. Either way, I'm not leaving until I have some answers. We're going to Stacy's place. Now. You think you could have changed for this?
Look, Nat. Funerals, burglary, it's an all-purpose black. Anyway, speaking of dress, whatever happened to those stinger bracelets you were so famous for?
Phil, you ever try carrying 4 kilos of high-tech hardware wrapped around each wrist? I didn't think so. Heavy, awkward, always getting in the way. In Moscow once, I damn near shot my own hand off. Plus, they were Warsaw Pact issue, and you could never get the replacement parts in the US. And they were always breaking down, so one day, I took them off. And just never put them on again. You coming in?
Nat, what exactly are we looking for?
No idea, but let me know if you see it.
Helpful. Thanks.
Kai,
You've reached Stacy Matheson. Please leave a message. Unless, of course, you're calling to damn me to hell for all eternity, in which case you can just drop dead.
Paranoid?
Uncle Ilya.
Say what?
My dearest Stacy, it is with great regret that I must tell you your aunt is not well. She insists on seeing you at once and has told everybody in the family that if you do not come home, as a loving niece should, the inheritance will not.
And Uncle Ilya is...
It's a code name for her KGB controller. He's telling her that she has to make a choice. Come home to Moscow for a final debriefing, or be cut loose from KGB protection forever, and take her chances here in the West. This must have been from some time in 1990 or 91, after the Berlin Wall came down. They would have been trying to pull out all the deep cover agents quickly before Gorbachev ordered the whole operation to shut down. She must have decided
to stay. Yeah. Have a shot at the real life in the land of the free. I can see that, but why would she keep something like this for all these years?
Sometimes you need something to remind you of who you once were. Something to stop the past from becoming a dream. I had a letter like this once.
Right. Look, I'll just give you a moment on memory lane, okay? 11, 12, 13... Man, this just keeps getting better and better.
So, how much was there? How much have you stolen from Stefania Melnikova?
What? I'm not... Look, it's not like she's gonna need it where she's... Alright, 17 grand. In case you haven't noticed, we've incurred a few minor expenses recently. And hey, stop looking at my ass, will ya?
Don't flatter yourself, Phil. Look at this. Medusagen? Sounds like a hormone.
Yeah, a real nasty one. You seen it before?
No, but these I do recognize. You?
Pheno... I can't even pronounce that one. Painkillers?
Military-issue painkillers. Very powerful. Very difficult to get a hold of outside of military circles.
Unless you've got someone inside with a vested interest in your well-being.
Or maybe a paternal interest? She was pregnant, remember?
Incogito, officer.
Yes, I'd like to speak to Sergeant Will Forrester. Immediately.
I don't believe that will be possible at this hour.
Son, this is Colonel Ulysses Cathcart of Insert Command, Washington Command Clearance Azure. Now what I don't believe is that you think Sergeant Forrester's sleep patterns are more important than national security. Or do you?
No, sir.
Good. Then we understand each other. Now you buzz Sergeant Forrester right away. You know, I really hope old Cathcart is still running off Clearance Azure. Hope he's still at Insert too, 'cause if not...
Mrs. Forrester.
Koto eta.
Dishnaskato. Yazdu postele kibili nashadosh ilika mele delon.
And that was...
Bait, come on, we need to find you a hiding place.
You think he's gonna come here? Right now?
He's confused and upset. He just heard a woman's voice in Russian calling out for him. And I didn't think it was such a bad Stacy impression, did you?
Allow me to applaud you for your multiple talents for manipulation and deceit.
I'm a spy. Was a spy. You use whatever keeps you ahead of the opposition.
Well, someone around here is helping her, Sheriff. Someone with a history. So I suggest you keep looking until you dig that history up. Something's wrong here, Kestrel. It's all too clean. No traces, nothing to get a grip on.
You think she went to another sleeper for help? Another deep cover?
There you are. Hot plates.
Yeah, or with the body she's got. Maybe some guy she's got hooks in from the old S.H.I.E.L.D. days. They're usually pretty buried deep, too.
If that's the case, Fury would know.
Yeah, but there's no reason on Earth he'd feel the need to share it with us. He's barely cooperating as it is. And maybe I'll just go up to Washington and kick it out of him.
Or maybe you won't. Just relax, Max. This interagency stuff is always a pain in the ass. Just too much testosterone all around.
Yeah, well, you would say that. Doesn't seem to stop you from working for North, though.
Hey, North pays twice my CIA day rate. I'd be a fool to...
Yes, this is Hunter. Tell me something I want to hear, why don't ya? Yes, I do think it's of note. Take your team and get after the father immediately. And if he looks like he's talking to the wrong people, you know what to do. The widow's not here. We're in the wrong state, Kestrel.
Not from where I'm standing.
Stacy, is that you?
Not quite, but I know who you are, Will Forrester.
Get back. Get back, girl.
Spare us the dramatics, Will. Have a seat.
Who are you people?
A friend of Stacy's. Looking out for her interests, you could say.
Stacy's dead.
Yeah, we saw her go into the hole, pal. Tell us something we don't know. Like, did you give her these pills?
I'm not telling you a damn thing.
Will, we all know the pro-lifers didn't really shoot Stacy. It was a professional job, very competent. And whoever did it is going to come looking for the father of Stacy's unborn child.
It was you on the phone? Speaking Russian?
That's right. Like I said, I'm a friend from the old days. Stacy told you about that, right?
I know what she used to be. She told me. But I didn't care. I was crazy about her. I would have quit the military sooner than lose her.
Did you get her the Medusagen?
No, I swear. I don't even know what that is. I got her some painkillers. She was having problems with the pregnancy. It wasn't normal. But I've never seen those.
Get down!
So, do you want to do the whole superhero thing? Stay and fight the bad guys?
No. We are going to run away. Out the back, fast. And give me Forrester's gun.
Not good, Nat. They're out back, too.
Let me go first. That's it, boys. Show me where you are. Let's go, Phil. Generally, I don't like guns. Too much noise. You have to reload. And they're more than a little symbolically suspect. But sometimes you really don't have a choice.
Think we'd better get out of here. You okay? Nat? Nat!
So where the hell is she now?
Anything at all, the slightest trace, I want to know about it.
I understand perfectly, sir. We're doing everything we can.
You sure this is all the disinfectant we've got?
It's 6:15 in the morning, Nat. Where am I gonna buy medical supplies around here?
Never mind. Only a flesh wound. I'm done. Let's get back out on the road.
Frankly, Captain, this is unbelievable. 9 men, 9 of your hand-picked team, dead. We're talking about a woman here. 1 woman.
She wasn't acting alone, sir.
Great. So exactly how many of these psychos are there then?
So, journey's end.
Stupid little trollop. You got to wonder why on earth she'd come back here, right? Why would any of them come back? Training? Memory? Homesickness, maybe?
Come on, it's getting cold. We can leave her to the dogs.
Bound to be a couple of packs skulking around here somewhere.
Yeah, maybe it's like homing pigeons.
What, the dogs?
No, moron. Her. The other two. Maybe Vasily's got it all wrong. Chasing all over having them killed. We should just wait for them to come to us.
Yeah, well, when Vasily gets back from America, you want to tell him he's all wrong? Be my guest.
No, it's just... This is a Russian project, right? So I don't see why we can't keep it in Russia.
Russia? You're kidding.
Shh. Keep your voice down. You're gonna wake Sally Ann. And I didn't say Russia. I said Soviet Union. This is ancient history, Nat. The drug Stacy was taking, the Medusagen, I've got nothing back on that yet. But the ring you cut off the guy who tried to kill you in Arizona, I had a friend check it out. They hadn't seen it in a while, but they sure knew what it was. This is Soviet Black Ops jewelry. Only guys ever get to wear it were assassins working out of the Red Room. You'll remember those guys, right?
This is ridiculous. The Red Room no longer exists.
Yeah, right. As far as that goes. But in the intelligence community, nothing ever really dies. And, Nat, nobody who's still breathing ever really gets to retire.
Back to work then. I have climbed more interesting pitches than this recently. But not alone, and not without ropes. And not in the dark, in the rain. And certainly not where I had to be quiet when I reached the top. And in case you were wondering, don't I miss all this? The answer is no. Be quiet. I'm not here to hurt you or your husband. But if you scream, I will kill you. Do you understand me?
So who's this guy she's going to see?
Jim Koenig, middle management spook, debriefed me a couple years back about some old friends of Nat's. He's a suit. No one special.
No one special? Sure. That's why she has to get in through a locked 20-story window instead of just knocking on front door.
Well, you see, Nat and I are retired. And we don't get to use the front door anymore.
Krista, baby, that you?
No. It's not Krista, baby.
Who the hell is Krista?
There'll be time to talk about Krista, baby, later. Right now, I've got a few other questions.
So look, did you guys save me from those truckers anyway? My mom did. Near enough. Anyway, when her boyfriend started. Got any of that whiskey to spare?
So, let's get this straight. The Red Room is back in business, trading as 2R. They've got agents here in the US, and a US government liaison, this guy Ferris, but you don't know what 2R actually does.
No, they never wouldn't. Ferris knows. Told me, gather data, that's all. Ask the old hands what they knew.
The old hands? And you never came to me?
No, Ferris told me. No, leave her. Not our problem. Leave well enough alone. Won't live much longer anyway. Doesn't matter.
So now, why don't you tell us all about Krista, baby?
No, please. Don't make me. Please. Don't want to.
The drugs are wearing off, so he has to be pushed harder. No, I bet you don't. So, who is she? This Krista? A meat rack girl?
No, Krista's not like that. Not like the others. She's so beautiful. So young. I wanted to.
How young?
Only 17. So beautiful. Wanted to look after her. To love her.
Men are scum, aren't they?
Whoa, you've been drinking?
A little, yeah, look.
You gave her whiskey?
Don't you think all men are scum?
Right now? Yes, I think right now I do.
What the hell was that?
That was Jim Koenig, paying the price of betrayal, I think.
You think he jumped when he realized what he spilled?
Maybe, yeah. Now, what can you tell me about this Ferris?
So now she's in Atlanta?
Well, no, probably not by now. But she was last night, judging by the damage.
Are you sure?
Oh, come on, Fury. Who else can scale a building like that? Alright, don't answer that. The less I know about your crew of masked weirdos, the better. But Koenig is dead. The widow killed him, and I'm fresh out of Leeds. It's time for some interagency cooperation here.
We're looking to. I'll have somebody call you if...
Don't try and blow me off, Fury. You'll be sorry, you...
Sorry? Sorry? I'm already sorry! I'm sorry this administration sees fit to let scum like you operate in the first place. I'm sorry an abomination like the North Institute was ever permitted birth. I'm sorry I can't put a bullet through both of you right now. If you ever touch me again, Hunter, I'll break you in half and call it self-defense. Do you understand me?
So I guess that's a no on the interagency cooperation then?
You just had all of the cooperation you're going to get out of me.
Well, that went well.
Yes. Thanks, Kestrel.
For what?
For stopping that from going down. I think I would have killed him.
Not good for your career prospects, Max. Even the NSA doesn't like slaughter in the ranks. Look, forget Fury. He's a dinosaur. Another 5 years, he won't recognize the world he's living in.
From what they're saying up in North, neither will anyone else. There's no road back from what we're doing, Kestrel.
Everything's changing, Nat. New faces, new ways of doing stuff, external liaisons, think tanks, bright young
Phil, stick to the point. Ferris.
Yeah, Ferris. Filtered through Phil and the whiskey. I get some sense of my target with Martin Ferris, ex-West Point, ex-Special Forces, ex-Pentagon Advisory Staff. Exists now in some gray area under the NSA umbrella. Combat decorated, martial arts specialist, impeccable alpha male credentials. Weaknesses, the usual. I don't like this, Nat.
Yeah, well, rest assured, your dislike for it is about 1/10 the strength of mine. The rest to kill's a strange expression. Hells, you can barely walk in, let alone run. Skin's exposed all over, regardless of weather. A look that says, take me, I'm yours. The rest to be killed, more like. But, if you want to reel in a shark, you've got to put meat on the hook. Ferris isn't married like Koenig. Not weak enough to want to have his cake and eat it too.
Oh, babe, you are hot.
Maybe he's not old enough yet. Either way, his place is empty, and I know we're not going to be disturbed.
You know what I want you to do now, baby?
Oh, yeah.
I want you to tell me everything you know about your friends in 2R.
You little...
I'm the one with the knife, Marty. I'd keep a civil tongue in your head if I were you. That way I won't be tempted to remove any external appendages. Now, hold still and try not to panic. I'm trained to handle this stuff. Just a little prick, and you'll want to tell me everything I need to know. Ferris is younger and harder to break than Koenig, so I've had to get extreme. The drugs are maxed up cocktail of hallucinogens and tell the truth incentives. It can't be very pleasant, but it seems to be working.
No. Please! Ah!
Good.
Now explain to me about the Russian.
Ah! Please. Please.
There, it's all right, Marty. I won't let her get you. Just tell me about your games with the Russian boys.
But, Mommy, they said I mustn't say.
Now, Marty, you don't want her to come back, do you?
You don't want that, do you?
Well then, tell me about the Russian boys. Eventually, I get everything he knows. Mothers usually do. It's not as much as I'd like, but I'm used to disappointment in bedrooms like this.
Must kill. Guide the con. Clean up. Surgical.
I leave him to sleep it off. Someone will come over and check when he doesn't show up for work tomorrow morning. Won't do his reputation any harm when they find him like this.
Baby, you looking for some?
Gynecon. Never heard of him.
Of course you haven't. You're a guy.
Genecon makes cosmetics, Phil. Products for cosmetic surgery, too.
Yeah, that's right. At school, I knew this girl. Her mom got gyneco breast implants. They cost her $20,000 each. All the movie stars buy Gynecon. It's like the best.
Most recently, they're into hormone replacement and anti-aging treatments.
I don't see what this has to do with anything important.
Yes, because as Sally-Ann observed, you are not a woman. You're under no pressure to care about your looks or appearance. I prefer to spend my money on books and climbing gear. But you know what the last present was someone bought me? Not a rope, not a book, but perfume. A big, expensive bottle of Descent Red. Because I'm a woman, and that's what women are supposed to value above all else. Cosmetic appearance.
Well, okay. Next birthday, I'll get you some Dostoevsky and 100 meters of heavy-duty lines. None of this explains what Gynecon has to do with Ferris and his new Russian playmates.
Ferris told me he's been facilitating the liaison between Gynecon and 2R. He doesn't know what they're doing, but you're right. It goes back to Russia. I've got Moscow addresses and some gibberish about the field in the east. It's a safe bet that Stacy wheeled this Medusagen out of some old red room pal of hers to help with the pregnancy. The question is what it does. Your friends at the lab got anything on it yet?
Afraid not. All they can tell me is they've never seen anything like it before.
Then I'm going to have to go there. Moscow.
Cool. Oh, can I come?
No. And anyway, isn't it about time you were in bed, young lady? It's nearly 3 a.m.
Anyway, I'm not going to be gone long. Just fly in and check it out. Maybe find this field in the east. See what they're doing out there that fits in with the U.S. Cosmetic Corporation. I'll be back before you know it. You can never go home. Memory collides with the current reality. It's a car wreck you can only get hurt in. I shouldn't really be doing this. I'm supposed to be running down the leads I tortured out of Martin Ferris, not wallowing in sad case nostalgia. Yes, I'm here with Intermedia Productions. I was wondering if I could talk to Alex Storelny. He's an old friend, you see.
Stelny?
Yes, he's one of your trainers, but maybe he's retired or...
I'm sorry. I've worked for the Bolshoi for 30 years. I don't recollect anyone of that name. Are you sure?
I'm getting that reaction a lot since I got here. Back in the old days, people disappeared without a trace, all the time. Sometimes I even helped make it happen. KGB. It was all part of what we did back then. But this isn't the old days, and half these old friends I can't find. There should be some trace. It feels like searching a city of ghosts. No, worse than that. It feels like I'm the ghost, haunting a past that's dead and gone. My head hurts. But damn it, I remember Alex Doralny. He made me into a dancer.
41, 42, 43. Come on, Natasha. Back to work now. Enough daydreaming.
Yeah. Back to work. Forget your old friends and start looking for new enemies. But nothing's the way I remember it. Nothing. In the old days, we were made to fear the West. We were told they'd come with tanks and missiles and destroy what we built. Instead, they came with money, and we helped them tear it all down ourselves. Now, the gap between rich and poor is wider than it's ever been, and the name Natasha has a new meaning. Sometimes I wonder if I should have been here, trying to stop it from coming to this. Too late now.
How you doing, Nat?
Getting nowhere fast. I checked the first couple of addresses I got out of Ferris. There's nothing there. It's like someone else got here ahead of me.
Maybe someone did. Ferris could have talked.
Not likely. The drugs I pumped into him? I doubt he remembers anything about that little session beyond some bad dreams. I think...
Oh, wow, it's fitting.
Phil? What are you doing?
Teaching the kid how to do an English breakfast. Why?
Doesn't matter. I'm going out again. Listen, Phil.
Yeah, listening.
You look after Sally Ann. Keep her safe.
Well, of course.
Another derelict building, another broken lead. Ferris's list is starting to look like a figment of... One thing you learn from a career as a spy. There is no such thing as coincidence. And when things appear to coincide... The security guard didn't lie about this, at least. No one's been here for months. Whole place is like a mausoleum. It's enough to give you the creeps.
Very brave. You're going to be a good girl for us, aren't you? Going to take your medicine. Responding well to the dosage. Of course. She is strong. 41, 42, 43.
Oh, please.
Come on, Natasha.
No. Please,
Back
no.
to work now. Enough daydreaming.
No!
I beg your pardon?
What is this, the prom date from hell? I said no. Want me to spell it out for you?
You
I think what Max is trying to say here is that we like the interagency cooperation.
Oh, is that what you were trying to say? Well, maybe you should enroll him in charm school so he can learn how to express himself verbally. Meantime, I lost my job to downsizing twice while the clowns who set up the North Institute were in government. You want supercomputing capacity? Go look for it in the streamlined private sector where you belong.
We'll be back. I'll get that NSA clearance.
Good, go get it. Meantime, please get out of my face.
Well, that's Fury and Langley view blown. Who do you want to yell and abuse at next? The FBIT? Pentagon Advisory, maybe?
Think you can do any better?
Is that a trick question?
Is that you, Phil?
Yeah? Who else would it be on this number?
Phil, shut up and listen. You're in trouble. I just had a visit from North.
That's up and running these days?
Oh yeah, up and running and coming your way. Soon as they find a crack, Phil. And that's just a matter of time.
No, it's a matter of competence. Competence, Mr. McMaster, which I have and your friends at North do not.
Son, I know you've killed more dangerous men than I've had Miami working girls. And I saw what you did to Jack Mullen when he came after me. In fact, I'll probably never get his blood out of my upholstery, but...
Mullen was nothing. A cheap mercenary in the pay of cocaine-athlet fools. In the Red Room, I was trained to kill real warriors, men of caliber. That is my profess.
Yeah. And maybe if you'd gone after this woman yourself, you'd have killed her too. But you didn't. You farmed it out, and the man you sent failed. Well, there you go, son. Something else for you to worry about.
Yes.
Vasily, dearest, there are things we need to discuss.
Came from here somewhere. Probably just the wind, Misha. Sit here long enough. You start to imagine all sorts of weird stuff. Oi, so I'm imagining this. I used that honey from the door before. How the hell did she get up here? Beats me.
Leave me alone.
Sugar, if you were looking for somewhere dry to sleep. Oh, come on, man. She looked really...
I said, leave me alone!
No, please, God, please. You had better come with me. Sounded like a gunshot to me. Oi, Misha! You okay up there?
For the time it takes me to get a grip, I let him drag me along like some movie female in peril. And then, I wake up. All right, that's far enough. Who are you?
Come, we have no time to.
I said, who are you?
Very well. Grigori Ivanovich Piselinsov, one-time professor of psychotechnics, and you, a Black Widow. Enchanted to meet you. Now, please. We do not have much time for niceties. Either trust me, or find your own way out. Good. This way. Now that I think we've climbed out in the rain, we can stay here in the dry.
They won't check inside as well. Check for fingerprints.
They are not Red Room cadre, my dear. They are night watchmen, and in these times of market forces one hires the cheapest, not the best. Alcoholic ex-cops, Afghanistan veterans with heroin dependency, some redundant KGB muscle without the brains to do anything else. They're not bad men, mostly. Nor are they the cream of our great nation's enforcement potential. I find them relatively easy to outwit, and I know the building far better than they do. I worked here for many years, you see. Now, perhaps ironically, I live here. Please excuse the smell. There are working showers I use elsewhere in the building when I can, but as of yet, I find it difficult to wash my clothes with any regular...
You called me Black Widow.
Yes, a rude generalization, I know, but there was little time for asking names.
But you recognize me?
Not you personally, no. But the type, yes. There were certain similarities in you all.
All? You're talking about Yelena Belova, right?
Yel? Oh hell, my goodness, no. Belova was an aberration. Nothing to do with the real Black Widow program. I believe she models fetus lingerie these days. No, I'm talking about the 27 original Black Widow deep cover agents we deployed in China and the West back in the old days. Morty,
What did you people do to me? I remember that room back there. But I remember ballet classes, the Bolshoi. It hurts.
Yes. If I were you, I'd try not to think about it directly. Part of the conditioning, you see. Psychochemical, very crude back then, but very powerful. You can enjoy the memories themselves. That's what they were put there for. But if you try to think logically about it, well, there's a deterrent effect. Headache, then nausea, unconsciousness, eventually.
I don't believe you.
There, you see? That's the conditioning. It really was state of the art back then.
I don't believe you. Why would you do something like that? Why ballet?
Well, what little girl doesn't want to be a ballerina?
I don't.
You were an orphan like all the others. The idea was to give you something rosy and perfect to remember the motherland by, to keep you loyal, you see? But of course, if you thought logically about it, well, if you were a Bolshoi ballerina, for one thing, your feet will be horribly maimed from all the dancing on the blocks. They're not though, are they? I'm really very sorry to do this to you.
Why? Why should you care? You fixed me like this when I was a defenseless child. Why the sudden attack of consciousness now?
My dear, you have to understand. It was a different time. We believed in our country, in a socialist revolution. And what we were doing, we were patriots.
That's a lousy excuse for bad behavior. Always has been. Well, patriot, feel like dying for your country now?
I'd really rather not.
I guessed well. Here's the escape clause, Grigor Ivanovich. Medusagen. Don't know it? What a shame.
No, look. That's not my department, please. That's biotech. They did all that work at the Urals complex.
The Urals?
Yes, there's still a field station out there. Disused, but...
A field in the east? Looks like you missed the chance of glorious death for your country after all.
Oh, thank you. Thank God for that.
Yeah, well, don't go thanking him just yet. I'm going to need you to take me to this field station.
Take? But it's 2,000 kilometers from here.
So, where's your sense of adventure, Grigor Ivanovich?
Look, there's no airport close by. No good road. Officially, the site does not even exist. It's in the middle of nowhere. We need transport. Or terrain transport. An army jeep at least.
Oh, that isn't going to be a problem.
Want to go for a ride, baby?
Very much so, yes. Out. Get in. Got my clothes there?
Yes,
Good. First fuel stop, you can have your coat back. Meanwhile, it's going to be a long journey. How about we pass the time with some storytelling? You can start with the Black Widow program. Everything you did for them. Everything you know.
But this will make you ill. You've seen what the adverse reactions are like when you think about your past.
You're too kind, Grigor Ivanovich. Now, start talking. Don't worry about me. I'll cope.
On paper, it always looks so clean and controlled. You'd barely think it had anything to do with human being at all. So building a molecule this complex won't be easy or cheap.
Cost is not an issue. Can you do it?
Oh yes, Vasily. For the money you're talking about, your American friends can have everything they desire. I can hope.
Are you...
I'm fine. How much further is it? It hasn't been a good trip.
Just over those hills. We're nearly there.
A long, hard trek and a four-wheel drive the police are probably looking for by now. And I've spent most of it finding out my memories are about as reliable as a Stalin-era encyclopedia. The ones where the telephone and flying machine were invented by Russians. Where famous people and even entire towns could just disappear from one edition to the next. It seems most of the good things I remember, before I became Black Widow, never happened at all. So I'm left with the bad and stomach cramps, headache and trembling every time I try to think about it. Grigor Ivanovich and his kind at the Red Room did a fine job at conditioning me. I think I'd kill Grigor for his part in it all, if he weren't so useful.
Okay, pal. Time to say goodnight.
I really wouldn't if I were you.
Who?
Throw the rifle down. Now, you jump.
But... Oh! My leg! My
You don't live around here, do you? Where are your people based? Who's giving the orders?
I will not tell you anything.
Not this again. Suit yourself. I saw dog turds on the way in. Got to be a wild pack around here somewhere. You be sure and scream when they show up.
Where are you going?
To look around.
But he's hurt. You can't.
You're on thin ice giving me moral lectures, Grigor Ivanovich. And I wasn't joking about those dogs. I'd wait in the car if I were you.
I am not waiting in the damn car!
Yes, you are. I love you dearly, Max, but I'm sick of this macho kick we're on. Now you give me some time alone with this guy. Go for a walk if you have to. Won't be long.
There's some special reason you had to meet him in this dump?
Yes, I like the coffee in this dump.
Ma'am?
Sheriff, thank you so much for coming in to see me. I appreciate you taking the time.
Your partner's not coming in then?
No.
Well, I sure appreciate that, ma'am. Man's a serious
Let's not go there, Sheriff. He is my partner. And once under fire, he saved my life under a great risk to his own.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way life is.
I guess.
So while we were chasing our tails out of state, did you have any luck with real police work?
Yeah, we knocked on some doors, canvassed for sightings on the highway where that SUV was sumped.
If you need anything else, just holler.
Just coffee, for now.
Turned up a make on a car stopped by the roadside. Single male occupant, maybe acting suspicious, maybe taking a leak. Descripting, but it's shaky. Got part of a license plate, so we think it's out of Albuquerque. And of course, we like to run all this through your NSA databases. But that dog ain't gonna hunt, right?
No, please, help! No, God, please, I tell you!
Leaving it a bit late, aren't we? Okay now, let's talk sensibly. Correct answers get you one of these little sweeties. Your life and a ride out of here. Enough incorrect answers and your four-legged friends will be playing fetch with your femurs tonight. So, what's it going to be? He talks. I can't make up my mind if I'm happy about it or not. But I keep my promises. And however incredible the details seem, I think he's telling the truth. I think this is the journey's end.
What'd you say?
Remarkable, and certainly better than your predecessors. But not good enough. I had hoped that Mr. McMasters' competitors would learn when I sent them Jack Mullen's heads. But evidently not. Oh, please. There is only one word for men who fail to learn from their mistakes.
Imbeciles! Isn't it enough that I am confined here with you fools in the first place? Do I have to do every single thing myself?
No, Madam Professor, it's just...
You go back and tell former academician, Filinov, to run the sequencer again and mail me the results up here. You'll tell him if, and only if, I see the same trace repeated on each strand, maybe I'll come down and see about recalculating the splice. And you tell him in the future not to be such a bloody old woman! I would have thought being an old woman was pretty clearly my prerogative these days. Come on in, my dear. Don't hesitate forever on the threshold. I've been watching your progress on the monitors. It was wise of you to wait for nightfall. Perhaps you're hungry?
You are Ludmila Kudrin?
Lyudmila Antona Kudrin, yes. For my sins. Why, what did you expect? The Wicked Witch of the East? Choose one. I would not have expected you to trust me. A witch in a hidden cave. A crone who drips slime in her tracks. You're familiar, no doubt, with the rather unpleasant joke about women and snails?
Yes, I've heard it enough times.
Well, suffice it to say, I generate this slime artificially, in the lab. I'm afraid regular immersion is my only remedy for the ravages I visited upon myself. My skin won't stand up well to strong light or air that's too dry. I have to eat and drink very carefully, too. I count every calorie.
You did this to yourself?
Well, looking back, I think I was perhaps encouraged by irresponsible men to risk the damage. We knew so little in those days, you see. The techniques were experimental, but I was very determined. I pushed to the limits. But what about you, my daughter?
Daughter?
Oh, not biologically, of course. You were all orphans. The project parameters required it. But still, in a way. What is your name?
Romanova Natalia.
Ah, Natasha, yes. You were always one of the strongest. One of the angriest. I don't think you ever forgave your parents for dying.
What did you people do to me?
But you must know that, Natasha, if you've found this place, if you've come this far.
I know about the memory inducement, the hypnotic blocks from the conditioning, not the rest. I don't know why I'd need to take these.
Well, you wouldn't. It's a system suppressant. It weakens your repair and immune functions. Who on earth gave it to you?
No one gave it to me. I got it from Stefania Melnikova's personal effects. She was pregnant.
Pregnant? Stefania is pregnant?
No, you stupid old crone. Stefania's not pregnant. Stefania's dead.
Who killed her? The Americans?
Yet. I mean, no, it's complicated. Look, why would she be taking this stuff?
If she was pregnant, she'd need to. She'd have to. We rewired you all biochemically. Gave you ramped up immune and cell repair systems. All the Black Widows have it. Your wounds heal 4, maybe 5 times as fast as a normal human's would. You hardly get sick, you don't age as fast, your hair doesn't fall out, your skin can take wind and sun without...
Lyudmila, what the hell has this got to do with Stefania being pregnant?
Natasha, pregnancy is an illness, a weakening. The fetus grossly distorts your body's functions at a physical and biochemical level. It sucks as much nourishment from the mother as it possibly can. It even runs hostile biochemistry that tries to turn you into a diabetic, to force your blood sugar by suppressing insulin production. The systems we build into you will recognize all of this as an attack, and respond accordingly.
You mean?
Yes. Miscarriage. Automatic, as a failsafe. No Black Widow can ever have a child. I am sorry, Natasha. The Black Widow program. We wanted heroes, not mothers.
What gave you the right to do this to me? To all of us? And don't try to patronize me, because it's going to get you a slap. I've already had a bellyful of that from Grigor Ivanovich.
Grigor Iva, he's here?
Yes, I brought him with me for Moscow. Why?
Oh, Natasha, oh, little Natushka. I always knew, in my heart I knew, some of you would find your way home.
Yeah? Is that why you're having us all killed off?
What?
You don't know, do you?
This is impossible.
No, this is happening. Stefania Melnikova was murdered by Red Room assassins. I nearly ended up the same way myself. And from what I saw down at the old site, I'm not the first Black Widow to come calling. I'm just the first not to end up as dog meat.
Vasily.
Now, what the hell are you people doing here?
Nothing. Our agents in the US have already sold most of the Black Widow biotech to some corporation there. These days we just do joy chemistry, antidepressants, mild euphorics, drugs to make people better workers, happier consumers, painkillers for the soul.
You call that nothing?
Natasha, who cares? They're Americans. They do it to themselves anyway, without my help. All they want is to consume like pigs in a trough, to work mindlessly for their corporate masters 12 hours a day, and spend the rest of their time shopping.
What is this? The old days? You're still spouting that party line crap. Have you ever been to America, Lyudmila? Have you ever met these people you hate so much?
I did not have to. They came here. They came here with their capitalism and their market forces, and they destroyed us, Natasha. They destroyed us!
No, we destroyed ourselves. We did it ourselves. All they did was hand us the gun. This stops. All of it. Right here. Right now.
Kid, there's just no way you'd get me wearing something like that.
But you should. You've got the bill for. Oh, good, I'm starving.
Yeah, that was quick. Who is it?
Delivery for Dexter, Jiasu Somen, Szechuan chicken, fried.
Alright, hold on.
And a free order of spare ribs. Smells good. Step away from the door.
Get out, kid. Get out the back. No! You son of a...
Hey, that can't be right. At that speed? Are you kidding? Down from the pole. Not a missile. Not like anything I've ever seen. I've entered U.S. airspace. Identify yourself. I repeat, you have 30 seconds to comply. This is your last...
This is S.H.I.E.L.D., Command Captain. Stand down. Our incoming is not hostile. Repeat, not hostile. Please escort her to land.
Fury. I might have known.
Lyudmila Antonovna. It's been a long time. I thought you were dead.
You wish, perhaps. You smell nice, Nick. Still using the same aftershave?
Until you devise something better. Natasha, I'm afraid I have some very bad news. He took 3 hits, explosive lugs. 2 in the chest, and 1 that blew up when it creased his skull. He's very lucky to be alive.
Who did this?
We're not sure. Whoever it was, they must have left him for dead. Somehow, he managed to call one of the house cleaning squads and bluff the codes. By the time they realized Dexter isn't one of ours anymore, he'd already been flown here and cleaned up. We could hardly unplug him again.
Why not? You cut him loose before, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't have health coverage. There was a girl with him.
Not according to my team's report. They cleaned up the whole place. There was only him. We think it was North.
North? I thought North was just a private sector funding dream for that enablement unit, BS-18.
Times have changed, Natasha. Business Solutions 18 went ahead and privatized 2 years ago under the name North. Full administration approval. They've retained most of their intelligence community contacts, but none of the obligations.
How inconvenient for you. So, who do you answer to?
No one. They pull NSA favors where they can, but the work is contracted directly to the corporate sector. They answer only to their clients. I'm sorry, Natasha.
Every time I talk to Fury, I want to break his face. And every time, I just let him walk away.
Yes, dear. I'm afraid it's Pheromone.
What?
I am sorry, Natasha. Yet again, I am to blame. When we began the Black Widow program, you'll see there was a great deal of opposition from, shall we say, the more conservative quarters. Many still felt women had no place in the front line. I thought of a genuinely powerful young woman as an active independent agent. Well, you can imagine the reaction. A control system was demanded. We designed a pheromone lock and key, a biochemical scent that could be applied like a perfume. Black Widow operatives will be incapable of committing violence or even extensive disobedience against anyone wearing the scent. To try would be like attempting to harm someone you cared about, like murdering a loved one. And then Fury stole it from us. He used it to engineer your defection to S.H.I.E.L.D. And he still uses it now to control your reactions.
Natasha.
What do you want, Fury?
Listen to me, Natasha. I'd like to help, but my hands are tied.
Yeah? What's the matter? They got an aftershave that locks you up too?
That's a separate matter, and Lyudmila had no business telling you.
Damn it, Fury. Where are they?
Listen to me, Natasha. You must understand that I could face federal charges for even mentioning the Santa Fe Dominion to you. Are you listening to me, Natasha?
Yeah, I got it.
417, Natasha. 417.
I got extra pepperoni just for you. But to be completely honest...
Good idea. Be completely honest, if you want to live. I want to know where you took the girl. I want to know who you're working for. And I want to know who shot Phil Dexter.
Sorry, can't say. It'll be a breach of a contract.
That's unfortunate as an excuse. Rita here doesn't seem to be part of your contractual obligations.
Ha! You won't do that. You're not capable of...
You have no idea what I'm capable of.
Alright. Just don't hurt her. I'll tell you.
Come on, Kestrel. Supposed to be out front by now. If you're still cuddled up with that waitress...
Max Hunter?
Yeah.
That's my Black Widow.
I paid you people a retainer to track down and kill a single woman for me. Now how hard can that be? Instead you shoot some trailer park chullup and a washed up private eye, deliver the girl to me bleeding to death internally, and you expect me to be happy about your incompetence? Dear Lord.
You should have stayed with my people, Mr. McMaster. No other gang of spoiled children whose parents have brought them too many toys.
Don't lecture me, Vasily. It's enough that I have the cutting corporation sending covert killers after me and trying to build a hostile takeover of Gynecon on Wall Street.
You worry too much.
And you don't know what you're talking about. Gynecon is about to patent a whole run of new biochemical processes and molecular codes.
Which Tua supplied you with.
Yes, and for which Tua and you both have been handsomely paid. Let's stick to the point, shall we, son? We're not talking about some genetically modified cash crop here or some third world chemicals accident. My lawyers can handle that stuff in their sleep. This is a living, breathing human being right here in America who predates our filing patent by decades. Do you have any idea what that would do to Gynecon's stock?
I'm not unaware of how market forces work.
Son, you may be way past lethal in what you do, but where capital is concerned, you are a baby. Without me, you'd have... Where is everyone all of a sudden?
I gave your crew and security the night off.
Well, that was kind of you. Why, may I ask?
Because tonight, I'm going to solve all your problems.
Listen.
No, you listen. You hear that? Why don't you come out, Natasha, Mr. McMaster? Allow me to introduce you, Natalia Romanova, the last remaining Black Widow. I am Vasily Ilyich Ulyanov. No relation, I assure you. And this is Mr. McMasters, the majority shareholder and CEO of Gynecon, who I'm sure you've come to kill. Unfortunately, to do that, you'll have to come through me. So, shall we get on with it?
I can smell it on him. Just like Fury. Too much to hope that he wouldn't have access to the magic potion by now. It's not as perceptive as smell, but it's there. The biochemical whisper of my own submission.
You are going to die, Black Widow.
His confidence is well placed. I can't do this. The programming I've had since I was a child won't let me. I think of gouging his eye, or ripping open his throat with the blade in my hand. And I feel sick. It's all I can do to shield myself from his blows. I feel slow. Stupid. I taste blood. Anger and will, pride and self, the reflex of aggression, all wither away inside me. I just want him to stop.
Down so soon, Black Widow.
More blood in my throat. Keep it there. Don't swallow it. Please. Isn't this enough? All I have left is endurance. Ah. That's better. You broke my nose, Vasily. I can't smell anything anymore.
Look, you can't kill me. You think I'm the only one? I'm just one part of a global system. They'll come after you. They'll hunt you down.
One chance. Where's the girl?
The girl? She's gone. Vasily's man took her.
Took her where?
I don't know. Look, it's not my fault. She was bleeding inside when she got here. I didn't want... She just got in the way. You can't. No!
So that's it. In the end, that's all it was. McMasters was right. They will come after me for this. Let them.
Наступає